Today's video is brought to you by TargetSportsUSA.com. Click link below to support our sponsor, free shipping on all bulk ammo. Is Bitcoin the future of money? Bitcoin itself may or may not be the future of money, but what is clear is that digital currency is. Bitcoin, one of many competing peer-to-peer digital currencies on the market today, promises to literally transform money exchange as we know it in the concept of international trade. So what is Bitcoin, and who is behind it? Bitcoin is based on a complex algorithm that solves mathematical equations via servers on the internet in order to verify its authenticity and value. It is traded anonymously, at least in theory if the NSA isn't watching, and it basically has zero overhead or transaction costs. When exchanging money via traditional means such as a bank wire transfer or even PayPal, for example, you pay a transaction fee. But with Bitcoin, the overhead is almost zero. Bitcoin is unique in that it is global and can be traded all over the world as long as you have an internet connection. So who created it? This is where things get a little murky. Bitcoin was created by a synonymous person or group known as Satoshi Nakamoto. Everyone, of course, wants to know who this elusive figure is, and this is also where many critics point out there might be a problem. Is Satoshi a single person, a group, or perhaps a nefarious government? Although secrecy makes sense due to the fact that whoever created Bitcoin would likely be hunted like Edward Snowden, we must also remain skeptical as to the origin of the digital currency and its motives. Even if Bitcoin was created for the good of all people, as a legitimate competitor to fiat currency, are we honestly expected to believe that something as valuable as the money creation process would be left to the devices of a mysterious being without government interference? Would the US government and governments around the world not take a keen interest in a subject that promises to rival the Federal Reserve System and challenge the US dollar as the world reserve currency? Would they not co-opt it? This is where things get really interesting, with retiring Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke actually acknowledging Bitcoin as a legitimate currency alternative. Why would the Federal Reserve acknowledge a competitor unless they were already heavily invested in it? Bitcoin can be bought and sold on exchanges, mined, and also converted to more traditional currencies like the dollar, euro, and yen through intermediaries such as Mt. Gox. Recently, Mt. Gox has been specifically targeted by government agencies. The Winklevoss twins, famous for their involvement with the launch of Facebook and consequential litigation of Facebook founder and billionaire Mark Zuckerberg, also raises an eyebrow. The two have recently filed for an ETF backed by Bitcoin to trade on Wall Street. The mainstream media has also begun to take interest with the recent bull run in the price of Bitcoin as a result of the crisis in Cyprus, increased media attention, and also speculation from buyers. So is Bitcoin a legitimate alternative to fiat currency? And is it pure in its formation? Or could it perhaps be the plan of global governments all along? With the US stock market suffering a 300-point loss on Friday and the likelihood of another severe financial crisis on the horizon, will Bitcoin emerge as the new global alternative? Critics point to the mystery of Bitcoin's origin and its high volatility as reasons to distrust its emergence as a new technology. Many also do not understand the complex algorithm, mining, and point to the lack of price stability as a major concern. Also, the fact that bulls hoarding the currency don't seem to be using it for trade, but as a wealth creation tool in a speculative bubble. Should we not be concerned by who controls the power of money? Would the federal government and the Federal Reserve System really just sit back and allow Bitcoin to emerge without consequence or interference? And if they did, would they not already be involved? Bitcoin may or may not be the dollar alternative of choice in the near future. But in my opinion, digital currency promises to revolutionize the concept and use of money in general. And it also promises more freedom. Like the dollar, Bitcoin is not backed by anything tangible and is somewhat fiat in nature, although we could argue that its algorithm offers something of value. The question is, will it be adopted by the masses? And is it being used as a real medium of exchange? The Winklevoss twins think so. Wall Street thinks so. And even the Federal Reserve is starting to conveniently open up to it. Although the promise of digital currency seems inevitable, I can't help but remain a skeptic in a world dominated and controlled by the power of money. Who really owns Bitcoin? Who exactly is Satoshi Nakamoto? And what are the motives of the Winklevoss twins, Wall Street, and the Federal Reserve? They don't exactly have a clean track record. Just like we don't trust the all-too-powerful bankers with special interests like the Rockefellers, Warburgs, or the Rothschilds, why should we openly trust Bitcoin without proper investigation and discussion when we don't even know its owners? Are we not simply relying on what other people tell us when only a brilliant few can understand and inspect the complex system and code that makes up the Bitcoin infrastructure? I mean, honestly, how many of you can inspect the algorithm that makes up Bitcoin and say with confidence that it is sound money? Do the pumpers like the Winklevoss twins and others not have a self-interest to pump and dump? Don't get me wrong, I'm a bull on digital currency, and I also believe it's the future, and there might be millions, if not billions, to be made on Bitcoin. But the question is, will you be buying it? I'm Christopher Green, and you've been watching Alternative Media Television, hard-hitting and in your face. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on our social networks, and click the link below to support our sponsor.